Hey guys, it's Julie from Plan to Create. Thanks for joining me today. I am going to walk you through my September pages here in my creative journal. My creative journal is a compilation of hemlock and oak weekly and daily pages. I flip back and forth when I know that I'm going to be busy, or if 5 days have gone by and I have not creative journaled, I'm pulling out a weekly page and I'm doing a quick recap. If I'm home and have the time and the space and energy, I'm pulling out daily pages because I want to stretch that creative muscle every day and I want to spend some time with ink and stickers on my pages. But I'm going to go ahead and flip this right open to September. This is a good time for me to take a second and explain. I have been marking off each month. You'll see July, August, September here. I'm using Hiba also by Create's Scrappy Spiral Notebook Pages, but they are not in a scrappy spiral. They are just scrappy and they are notebook pages. So this is a blank page. They come with different designs on each, so you can kind of mix and match to create whatever you'd like to create. But I have been using these, and this is a better example. I know I have a page done here, but at the end of the month, so there's my July, all my July pages that I have or have not completed, and then you'll see like an overview page. This is like not a necessary step. I've already documented a good chunk of my month, but sometimes there's holes on some of the weeks that I just haven't gotten around to, and maybe I have a photo that I want to still talk about, or just like I want to really pick and choose like the top level moments like of the month, things that I definitely associate, you know, back to like highlights of that month. So I've been doing that, and we'll go ahead and switch up here. This is the August page, so I have only done July and August so far. I've started September but not completed it yet. You can see that at the end of the video, but this kind of gives you an idea. It's nothing fancy, it's just kind of a fun little pause and reflect over the last month kind of activity. So ultimately I do take my hemlock and oak pages. You're going to see they're ever so slightly narrower, so not quite as wide as the Scrappy Spiral. Hope you guys can see that. There's kind of a gray ledge there. I like that because it kind of creates its own divider. I can find these pages easily because they're sticking out a little bit. Actually turning towards September here, I go ahead and I glue pages together of the hemlock and oak and the Scrappy Spiral, and then there's my monthly overview. I don't have a strong purpose for this monthly overview. It's been kind of fun, again, to like pick out some of the highlights from the month. You can see I kept up with it better, and then the last week or so I've kind of but that's okay. I'm giving myself a lot of grace in this because it's really just for fun. I'm going to talk about these inks really quick and then I'm going to move them because they're bugging me. I did set them out because these are some that I used throughout my month, and I get questions about that periodically. But this is an Espresso Ink from Close to My Heart. No longer available. Bummer. I really have been enjoying the dark brown instead of just black. Inky black from Color Theory. I really enjoy this. It's very safe. These are actually the dark espresso ink, so I don't have an example of black on here, but I interchange those often. This Dijon color from the Stamp Market has been a favorite this month. And then these little minis from Catherine Pooler, Hot Tub, and Stone Blue. Those are really been like just colors that I've reached for over and over. Okay, now I can move those and have this in the middle. So yay! I have this little tab set up here for my current month so that I can find it easily. And then first things first, you just notice, like I said in the beginning, if it's been a busy week or I found myself getting behind, I don't stress it. I just go like, oh, we're gonna do that in a weekly format this time. And that's that. And I have no issue with a few little holes. Not every inch needs to be filled. Same thing for the following week. I went ahead and just did a weekly format. Sometimes I add the numbers at the top. Sometimes I don't. They are technically already there, so it's not a mandatory thing. It's just for fun. And this was a really good example of me just like doing one day at a time. Like I was so on it, like every day I was coming in here. So it ends up looking pretty like bits and pieces-y, and I don't care. It's fine. I like it. You know, that way. I like it when I do it all at once because it probably looks a little bit more cohesive, but I'm happy with whatever I get done in this book. That's always the case. I'm never regret putting something on paper, and so that's kind of what I remind myself of. Another trick that I have, I saw this done on Instagram. I can never remember her username. I feel like it's Plan Dream Live, but I don't know for sure. I will add it in the comments below if I can remember to. But she just would take like a Tombow marker or a mild liner, and you know, if I just had this empty space sitting here and I was like, I don't have anything else to say, so I just go ahead and add that little like subtle plaid. It's a really good space filler, especially in an awkward space, so I wanted to mention that. And then you can see that I basically, that was for Sunday the 14th, and Monday I just glued the daily to the back of a weekly and moved on because I knew that I was going to have some time at home. I wanted to play around a little bit more. And when I say play around, I really mean like play around. Like I grabbed these stickers out of my Happy Planner sticker book, and it's like technically these are the strips. The strips are the actual stickers. This is the reverse, and this is part of it. This is like the next part over here that I cut off, and I just literally plunked those on paper and was like, make it work. Like that's kind of the challenges that I do, and so I just did. I just played with it, and it's like it doesn't have to turn out perfectly proportioned. This is just for really my own enjoyment, and honestly the enjoyment, a lot of it is the process of creating it, and then of course I enjoy looking back on it, and I hope that you guys do too, but I do it for the challenge and for the fun. I have a tendency to want to point out individual products, but I will mention that these products, I have a lot of these little washi strips like that are sitting here on my desk, and they're just something that I pull out when I have kind of an awkward space, or I want to make a big bold frame, or just, you know, figure out a way to put them on paper to make it work with something I've already stuck down probably there. I just went ahead and cut it at an angle. It's another like way that I challenge myself, I suspect, is by leaving little scraps of things here and then looking at that and like, okay, find a place for this on your page. You know, does it apply? Let's go. So I think that that's another little trick that I use to keep myself just trying new things. We're here at the 19th and the 20th. Just having fun. I shared this on Instagram, and I just kind of had in my head like I was out edging a flower bed and I wanted it to be curvy. You know, I don't want a straight line between my grass and my flower bed. So I was out doing that in the yard, and then when I came in, I was like, oh, I want to make it like the curves in my edging in my flower bed. Just little things like that, bringing it to life, just fun. This was also a page that I was making and creating, and I had added the little kitty with the red, and I think I had the blue and maybe the green, and I was kind of like, oh boy, where am I going with that? And then my kids literally sent me that picture that night, and I was like, seriously? Like I got the red, I got the green, I got some blue. I was like, thank you, thanks kids. It like helped tie everything together. So sometimes you just keep going and you don't know where you're headed, or at least I do. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but it's okay. I love this little corner. I wanted to test out, I'm trying to layer, so like have a layer of something. You know, you can see that I've overlapped the Cat Collage Club onto this sticker. So I tried that dotted half circle, and it did not fly. Like I think like her eyeballs get mixed up. She has polka dots on one side of her face. Not ideal, but again, like I did it down here and it worked out better because I used a softer color. So I'm just constantly trying to push myself to try these things, and sometimes they work out and sometimes they don't. And it doesn't really matter. I'm pointing that out to you. I don't know if you would have noticed that. Maybe you would or wouldn't have, but I feel like it's just me trying to point out like, yeah, I'm trying things and they don't all work, and it's okay. That's just what this book is for. I feel like I forget to throw in my Coffee Monster Co. washi sometimes, and it's a bummer because I love it. So I need to probably have some rolls sitting out on my desk to grab my attention. Maybe that's the problem. I have them tucked away right now, and that is literally something I will mention again because this is part of how my creative journal works for me, is that I have these products sitting out on my desk and they just catch my eye. And I mean, I obviously have like a few more here actually on my desk because they're so little. I feel like they get lost in there. But this is just a really fun way for me to continually incorporate new things, you know, let something catch my eye that maybe I see a color in a photo that I want to, you know, reemphasize, or something that, oh yeah, I did that today. Sometimes these little stickers can remind me like, oh yeah, I went to the store, you know, not with my cat, unfortunately, but I did go to the store. So I love having things scattered on my desk, but then also like, hello, scattered crazy. So this is like the perfect little solution for me to keep them contained. I have mentioned it before in other videos, but in case you missed those, it is a Jindy handcrafted planner caddy is what she calls them, and it's just fabric. She creates them with really cute patterns inside and out. So they're just kind of a treat for the eye all the way around. And while I'm thinking of it, I'll just share, I do have one tucked away in my drawer down here, another color variation, and these are all of my like Halloween type stamps, goodies that I just like to have set aside so when the month of October comes, it's like a fun thing to drag out and, you know, to use those supplies. I don't have a ton, this is pretty much it, but it's fun to collect them and have them kind of stored together throughout the year and then bring them out. I just shared a video about, I think I have a whole like snippets video how I did this page, so be watching for that. I don't know if it's been shared yet or not, but I used a lot of Freckled Fawn's digital kit this month. She just released it, and it was really fun to play with it and to really mix and match it with some of the other things that I have, like I said, sitting on my desk, or sticker books that I have close by. This one here is definitely from this sticker book, and it's a different twist for me to use those. I usually do not like the Happy Planners quotes. I feel like they're too cheesy for me generally, which, I mean, that's just my own opinion. It doesn't mean that they're bad or wrong, but sometimes I'm just like, yeah, you know, like they're just like, catch the sky. I don't know, just doesn't apply to me. But I thought that that one really did. I've been like, I was in a huge creative groove and just feeling it. It's like, okay, just do your thing, enjoy it. Like, I think I freak out a little bit, like I'm gonna lose it. So I do as much as I can while I feel the creative juices flowing. And that's kind of, I was giving myself permission that day to just go with it. Yes, I do have a whole video on this. So I've been sharing snippets this month. That's kind of how I create, is just like I come into my desk, I plunk something down, I walk away, I come back, add some more. I generally don't create all in one fell swoop. I think this page I actually did. If I remember, yeah, I think I hadn't done anything. It was the end of the day and I was like, oh gosh, I'd just gotten the stamp set in the mail. So I was like, let's use that. And then, you know, it kind of rolled from there. I believe I have a snippet video with a portion of this. I don't think I had these on there yet. And I have been trying to use this little stamp. It's from Everyday Explorers Co. But I'm using it every day and I'm trying, I have a tendency to want to stick it right here. But then I feel like my entire page is kind of like pulled to that. Like I try to build off of it. And so by moving it a little more to the center of the page, I feel like I'm able to kind of balance out a page a little bit better. And again, that's just for my own personal, like, I guess, stretching myself, not because it matters what it looks like, but just for me, like, hey, you're always doing it here, try here, you know. So these pages were fun to create, and I'm pretty sure that I was doing these together. Like, I feel like I had not done Tuesday yet, so I was playing catch up a little bit on these two together, if I recall. I can't entirely remember. And then we're kind of wrapping up here. This was a huge like sticker that I had from Freckled Fawn, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm gonna work that in this month. And then sure enough, I was like, oh, that's perfect. It was date night for my husband and I. And it just was like a fun way to add a different shape. I do a lot of, you know, squared off things, so it's fun to add in ovals and circles wherever I can fit them. I really like this page, and I'm perfectly fine with having the open space there. I actually really would like to do more like this. I feel like that's a fun, like it's almost like a scrapbook layout in a weird way, which I haven't done for years. And I mean, I like the mix of everything. I'm not saying that this is the right way to do it, but it was a fun thing to kind of work on this, like one central focus versus like everything splattered on there for good measure. So we just got some new furniture and oh my gosh, we set it up. You can see the pieces of the sectional are not connected, and they still are not connected because I feel like we're finally where we want to be, but our front door is over here. So literally you're walking into a sofa and we're like, oh, we know that that's not probably the most welcoming sight, but I really like the chairs against this wall. The white light colored sofa against the white wall is not working for me. And if I'm completely honest, I was joking with my kids, but I was like, yeah, no, we don't really want anyone to feel like they're welcome to come and sit on our sofa. It's light colored. We don't know what the heck we were thinking, and we're afraid to sit on it, let alone like inviting our guests. Are you kidding? So I'm being like silly, but it's kind of how I feel. It's like, oh gosh, we really, really should not have gotten that light of fabric. And we're gonna like have to just get over it because we are scared to death to sit in it ourselves, let alone to welcome our friends over. So we're like, we have 2 chairs for you to sit on. They're perfectly colored and you're welcome to, but everyone's to have the sofa. So it's kind of a running joke. But that day, you can see, I don't have anything. And what I'm thinking about doing, and the funny thing is that we moved the furniture that day a different way, and then this day we moved it back. I didn't have any pictures of that one though, but I already had one pillow like this from Target, and I ordered a couple of more, so I threw this on here. And this has been like a stamp that I've used for inspiration. I'm trying to think if I have, I don't think it's very dark, but you're gonna see, I don't know if you can see, but like I'll take that half circle stamp and I just stamp it in the same pattern as this pillow. And so I think I might just end up doing that over this entire page. I don't know, I'm thinking about that, and maybe even a good chunk of this because it's currently Monday and I'm still a little bit behind here. But the perfect thing is that I'm not planning to do anything to document today. I'm planning to wrap up this month with my September highlights and go into a weekly format for October because I just know that my time is going to be spent elsewhere. I'm actually heading to Chicago to go visit my son. So it's really nice to know that I don't have to take this with me. I don't have to worry about it. I'll take some fun pictures and we'll do what we can, but I'm planning to just let this be like a creative space. It's probably not going to document anything major, and that's really, really fine with me. Okay, the one thing I did want to say is that this little daily stamp, it's not a daily stamp, it's just a stamp, and coming through and adding my weather is something that I consider very like day specific. And the reason why is because I like to look on my watch, see the weather, and that's that. I don't want to go on some weather researching thing and have to look at yesterday's because it's no longer on my watch. So it's like I'm motivated to come in to stamp that out because I can look at my watch. Like lazy as you can possibly be, yes. But that's kind of something that once I've done that, then I feel like I tell myself, and you'll see, like just do that today. And if that's all you do, that's okay. Well, that's kind of how it started here. I did that, and then I ended up adding a couple other little things, and I feel like that ball has started rolling. So I can whip out the rest of this page pretty easily if I want to come through and add a few notes, tell a little story about how unwelcoming our sofa is and how fine we are with that. It's like, I just feel like this gets my ball rolling. So I don't know if that same thing would be a trick that would work for you, but finding something that you kind of need to record almost in the moment. Like obviously I could look back at the weather, but that's way too hard. So like getting the weather down, and then I didn't do it this day. So shoot, you know, the ball did not get rolled on that day. And I think you can see the difference. So that's something that I wanted to mention, is like finding a little trick like that for yourself. And I'm not sure that I'm going to do the exact same thing next month. I have kind of a different idea brewing in my head, but we'll see. It may be that for a while. So it's just like whatever tricks you have to play to get yourself kind of just started is the trick you have to play sometimes. Something that I would change about this book, I try to think of the things that I enjoy, the things that maybe I would switch up. The only thing I would tell myself is that I enjoyed these pages where I kind of dropped that circle down and built from there instead of from the top, because for some reason building from here makes me maybe feel like I need to fill the whole page, but building from here, it's like I'd be comfortable if this was all that was full, you know, more like this. So I think just giving myself as much pass as possible, like removing as much pressure from yourself as possible. Like I could 100% be okay with like filling just this, you know, I don't need to fill everything, and I need to remember that. If I have things that I want to say, which is some of this, I just have things that come to my mind that I want to mention. Oh yeah, this, that, and this, then more power to me. Like keep going. Like that's cool. But like this, leave it in the corner, totally fine with that. Because I had bumped that down a little bit. I didn't feel like I had to fill that space. The other thing that I just kind of want to remind myself is to not worry too much about how it turns out. And I don't like to sit and point out the things that I don't like, but I will say like I do like some pages better than others. Like for some reason this page, like it did kind of pull together, but it's not my favorite. I really wanted to bring this color over here, and I'm not sure that it had the look I was after, especially like this guy's kind of just sitting down here. This doesn't coordinate very well, I'll say that. But I'm trying to remind myself, like, don't get too hung up on that. Just move on. Like, not every page is going to be great, and really it is just about the exercise of just putting stuff down. So I think I added this softer color here. You know, it's kind of repeating and it's bringing that in. So while this page alone maybe didn't really accomplish it, I had a little pink there. So, I mean, maybe it works, but I'm just kind of like, as I'm saying to be kind to myself, I'm also picking it apart. So I guess you can kind of see it is a constant struggle for me, but it's just something that I would like to remind myself, is just to be okay with the fact that not every page is going to be spectacular. Just play. It's meant to be a playground for all your supplies. Another thing that I really did enjoy this month was the mixing and matching of the products, and I kind of touched on that. But it was really fun to throw in some Everyday Explorers with some Happy Planner, with some Hiba also by Pet Tape, with some cat collage, with random washi that I don't know where that came from, and more Everyday Explorers, the Coffee Monster Co., Freckled Fawn. This spread right here represents a lot of different artists and companies that I love and appreciate. So it's fun to work them all together in surprise way. It's easier to take a product line and make sure that those match. That's part of why we like to buy product lines or kits, because you are guaranteed that each and every little piece will match and come together. But there's something kind of fresh when you take them apart and you mix them with other products and they still work together. I think that that's kind of a fun thing to experiment with. Okay, that's kind of the view of my month. I think I showed everything right. I even showed you, yeah, that I had started my September page. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please take a second to like my video, take a moment to subscribe if you haven't yet, and otherwise I will catch you next time. Take care.